the end of each listening and reading answers, you will find a chart which will have you assess whether, on the basis of your practice task results, you are ready to take the IELTS test. In interpreting your score, there are a number of points you should bear in mind. Your performance in the real IELTS test will be reported in two ways. There we will band the score from 1 to 9 for each of the components and an overall band score from 1 to 9, which is the average of your scores in the four components. However, institutions considering your application are advised to look at both the overall band score and the band score for each competency in order to determine whether you have the language skills needed for a particular course of study or work environment. For example, if you are applying for a course which involves a lot of reading and writing, but the lecturers' listening skills might be less important and score a 5 in listening might be acceptable if the overall band score is 7. However, for a course which has lots of lectures and spoken instructions, a score of 5 in listening might be unacceptable, even though the overall band score was 7. Once you have marked your test, you should have some idea whether your listening and reading skills are good enough for you to try the IELTS test. If you did well enough in one component but not in others, you will have to decide for yourself whether you are ready to take the test. The practice tests have been checked to ensure that they are the same level of difficulty as the real IELTS test. However, we cannot guarantee that your score in your practice test will be reflected in the real IELTS test. The practice test can only give you an idea of your possible future performance, and it is ultimately up to you make the decisions based on your score. Different institutions accept different IELTS score for different types of courses. We have based our recommendations on the average scores which the majority of institutions accept. The institutions to which you are applying may, of course, require a higher or lower score than most other institutions.